So hey everyone, in a bit of good news, a federal judge has apparently placed an injunction on the anti-trans passport policy, so I'm going to attempt to obtain a passport sometime soon and see if I can get that done. It had never been a huge priority before because I really hadn't had any international travel planned. And I don't really have any plan now, but it just seems like while the opportunity presents itself, I should at least make the attempt. So by the time this airs, I'll probably know whether or not I was successful or not. I'm sure some of you have seen it by now. Hopefully, most of you have, and hopefully, if that's something that I think that everybody should try and do while the opportunity presents itself, because I don't know how long this is going to be a possibility, but I'm going to try and see if I can get it done, and we'll see how that goes. And then as opportunities permit, I'll try and see if I can't update and some other of the documents that I've been trying to update, which of course is not easy in the current climate. But we'll see. I think there's a possibility that the last thing I have to update, I might be able to, or I should say, would have been the last. But as you may know, if you follow my other social medias, my certificate of citizenship, I was trying to update it while I still had the opportunity. The process, unfortunately, was not able to outrun the executive order, which basically resulted in the incorrect gender marker. So, at least I'm taking it small victories in that the certificate of citizenship has a new photo, has a current photo, and has the correct name on it, but it's just not correct. So I'll, at some point, when the winds are more favorable, I shall have to make another attempt and try and do this process over again. But such is the situation as it stands for the moment. But we'll see. I want to say that this has been a tough week for me, and I think in part, at least a little bit, is my fault because, with all the news that's constantly going on and such, it's like I think that I let too much of it take up residence in my head. And not that it's important, not that it's not important, not that I don't want to stay informed, and not that I don't need to know what's going on, but it's also one of those things that I have to make sure that I'm still in a good spot, that I'm still, capable of doing what I can do, of, standing up for people that need it, of helping people that need help, of doing what I can do to keep things together for myself and for others. I have a lot of things that I want to do, and I need to be in good shape to do them. And that being said, in writing news, I haven't been writing anything new lately. I've mostly been working on editing of the three pending projects that I have, and I'm hoping to eventually get out the door sometime soon. Fingers crossed that all goes well. I have video news today. I know I'm working on a vlog. I'm probably going to try and edit a review, and I will probably try and do a video for the announcement of the release of my book when it on July 15th, when it officially comes out. So obviously it's getting close now, which is both kind of exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time. But I think it's as good as I can make it. I hope that people like it, and I hope that it goes well. But we'll see. One way or another, it's done, and on to the next series of projects that I'm working on, because that's what I would like to keep doing. Keep going until I run out of ideas. But hopefully I can at least be more consistent in my output from here on. Let's see. Books I'm reading. I'm still reading the same 4 books. The Time He Desires, I'm somewhere around halfway with that, I think. It's been really good. It's been an interesting book to read. I've kind of been interested in seeing it ever since I found an article on it on one of the furry news sites. It's a good book. I highly recommend it. Kjell almost always does really interesting pieces, and I think that this is no exception. Um, let's see. Reading Reborn by Jay Coates. And that so far has been going really well. I've been enjoying the first book. I think 10, I'm up to chapter 10, and I'm definitely enjoying the book. Looking forward to getting through the rest of the series. It's been a fun story so far, and I have been very much appreciating the, the world building. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where I wouldn't necessarily say that a whole lot has happened, but it's been compelling, to follow the story. You know, I don't want that to sound like a negative, because it's just like not necessarily every story has to have a lot happening, but it's been one of those. I guess I don't know if I'd call it a self exploration. I guess you could, but it's been a good story. I've been enjoying reading the character chemistry, and it's been a fun read. Reclamation Project. I read the second story out of the list, and I have to say that the second story just kind of, compared to the first one, really just kind of points out the first one doing its job and the second one kind of not. And I'll have more specific things to say in the full review, but I don't know. The second story just kind of feels like it didn't accomplish its job of kind of being a good story in itself. It felt like too many of the scenes just kind of skipped to the next location without any real guidance or easing into it or something. I don't know. There was just everything that I liked about the first story. This second one didn't seem to do as well, at least for me. Let's see. I'm also reading Strange New Worlds Asylum, which so far I am about 64% of the way through the book, and it's been a good book. I've kind of been interested in reading about exactly how all these pieces fit together, and it's, especially with the current climate, it's kind of the kind of book that is interesting to read with competing agendas and just kind of making me reflect a lot on how I kind of want people to be able to just, I guess, be kind to each other, focus on what's best for all of us, and to kind of look inward at ourselves and just be objective about what we can improve, what we're doing. I mean, it's a good book so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm also looking forward to the next Strange New Worlds book, which, depending on how I feel, I may dive into it after this book or not. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Games I'm playing, mostly I've kind of admittedly been focusing on Trails into Reverie. I've been trying to finish Horizon Zero Dawn. Of course, been playing STO and ESO, so those are kind of my usual standbys. I mean, so far it's been good. There's been not a whole lot to report. I've been enjoying Horizon, but I'm definitely looking forward to finishing it and maybe going back to Dragon's Dogma or playing a Resident Evil or something just to mix it up a little bit. At some point I do want to get back into playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart again. These days there's just so many games out there and so many systems, and it's just like finding time to play is just always a perpetual challenge, because I have what I consider to be a good amount of time allocated for my game playing efforts, but also just being able to, I mean, some of these games, particularly a lot of the games I play these days, they're so long, there's so many hours that it takes to play. It's just like, do you remember when there used to be games that you could beat in like an afternoon? It's like they don't really do that anymore, and on the one hand I do appreciate that, because it's kind of nice to be able to spend a lot of time immersed in these worlds, as is the case with books like thick as this one. But it's also one of those things where it's also nice to just have something short. And incidentally, shout out to Time He Desires, which is, I think they call it a cupcake. Basically, it's a short novella that is not super long and doesn't take that long to read. But that being said, there'll be more coming soon. So I will probably be doing a lot of editing today, and maybe at least one more quick video once I figure out exactly how what I'm going to say. But for right now, I'm going to try to see what I can do to sort of keep myself in good shape, to keep myself in the fight, to keep myself trying, and keep myself aiming towards things. I need to look forward to good things, because hopefully there will be I'm looking forward to Star Trek Las Vegas in 6 weeks, or I guess I don't know, maybe it's 5 weeks now, who knows. It's getting close. Soon I will be going back to the salon mid-July, hopefully to freshen up my hair, and then we'll be ready to go. And then a couple weeks after that, we will have MFM. I don't know if it'll be both of us or if it'll be just me. It kind of depends a lot on how things go with my partner's health. Which all I'll say right now is that things are kind of in flux a little bit. But fingers crossed, things should be okay. I think it's just we're waiting for things to get the ball rolling. But that's it for now, and I'll catch y'all later.
If you like werewolves, check out my book Blue Moon, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. See you next time.